Hey everybody, my name is Jake. Welcome back to another video. It's been a long time since I've given kind of an overview of all my tanks. This isn't really like a full fish room tour. I have another tank that I want to set up, a couple tanks that I want to set up before I do kind of a full long form fish room tour. But I have recently just been kind of admiring my setup and realizing that you guys just don't really see everything that I see down here. I mean, just the amount of work that went into all of this. And I just really want to show you at least what it looks like walking around, because I often just kind of focus on individual tanks and things. And not only that, but I was kind of in the mood for a little bit of a walk and talk session and kind of showing off a few things, but also, you know, maybe just talking about how I feel about all this. And was just kind of inspired recently. I've been watching a lot of other videos from other YouTubers, specifically watching Stefan over on his channel, Lush and Salty Aquariums, and just listening to him kind of talk about his mental health and how it relates to all of his fish. And, you know, I often kind of feel like I'm a little nervous to tell you guys what's going on in my life, but I don't know, there's just a lot. And lately, my motivation has just been kind of shot. I've been kind of a little bit, I don't know, just, yeah, that's about the best way to put it, is that my motivation is just kind of low. And I put a post up not that long ago about some bad stuff that happened recently. And ever since that church shooting, I've just been kind of like processing things and been just having trouble, you know, finding excitement. And I really have enjoyed my tanks and just kind of the way that they've helped me process things. But I've had some projects that I've needed to get done and I just don't want to do them. And I've never felt like that before. You know, I am just kind of like this never-ending ball of energy, just an atomic energy. I always am moving. I don't like sitting still. I've always got a project going. And so to kind of be in this phase where I'm just kind of like, I don't know what to do next, not because I don't want to do anything and not because I don't enjoy my fish tanks, but I'm just kind of like, why? And I think that's just kind of what I've been struggling with in the last month or so. And not only that, but, you know, there's just been some stuff going on in the tanks themselves. So for instance, this is really one of my favorite aquariums. This is a 180 gallon aquarium and it has some of my favorite fish in it, South American cichlids. And I have had some sort of mysterious disease going through here for probably about the last 6 months that I just keep kind of mysteriously losing fish. And I've tried everything. There's a UV sterilizer over there in the corner. I've done so many different treatments and things like that, just kind of trying something new, almost to the point where I'm a little worried that it's over treating a tank and a little bit too much guessing. I've lost probably about 3 or 4 different angelfish. I have these really large, beautiful electric blue acaras, and I've lost 3 of those, and that is just heartbreaking. Luckily, I had some babies that I was growing out, and so now those are in here. That might not be smart considering what I'm dealing with right now, but they seem to be doing okay. I've kind of narrowed it down to thinking it's some sort of intestinal parasite, just because there seems to be some symptoms of hole in the head. It's kind of all over the place. There's some swim bladder disease and things like that, and just kind of some random stuff going on. But I've lost 1 silver dollar as well as 1 geophagus. It seems to affect the electric blue acaras the worst, whatever it is. So I'm in the middle of some treatments. I had a conversation with someone yesterday who is a senior veterinary student at Virginia Tech University, and felt a lot better after talking to him, just because, you know, he kind of talked about what it's like to treat animals and how much guesswork goes into it sometimes. That made me feel a little less bad about it. And also he offered that if I have another fish die, that he's got some people at the university that I could potentially bring him the fish and do a necropsy and maybe figure out what's going on. So I've got some connections. I'm hoping to, he's a very busy guy, so he may not have a lot of time, but whenever he gets time, I would love to be able to go there and meet some of these people. He said there's some people that are highly published fish experts, and I'm like, yeah, I definitely want to get in there and see that. So this has just been one kind of little bit of a disappointment lately, just kind of in the middle of all this, you know. It's like I want everything to just be perfect right now and going great, and it's just, you know, unfortunately some of those more recent life events weren't the only ones. I had some family members that had some emergency surgeries and things like that, and just, you know, it's one of those times in life, it's like one thing after another. So the tanks have been kind of a nice thing to have, just to kind of come down and sit in front of it and just absorb it, but I haven't been very active with them. In fact, you know, a lot of this stuff you might see here, there's you know, you saw a lot of debris down in that tank, and I'm trying to keep up with maintenance as much as possible, although I do still test the tanks weekly, and I know all the water parameters are good, but just as far as like making things look beautiful, you'll notice a lot of algae and just kind of stuff sitting around. So that's just because that's the way it is right now. I'm just kind of like, well, let's do the water changes, test the tanks, do the bare minimum, and try to keep everybody happy. The saltwater tank I set up not that long ago, if you saw that video, is doing pretty well, with the exception of it still has a lot of green hair algae, which I was hoping that the larger tank and more volume would kind of help with that, but it hasn't. But, you know, the corals are actually doing pretty good. I didn't have too many complicated corals, but this really is a low-tech setup, so it's doing pretty good. This rainbow tank is one of my favorites that just sit in front of every day. It's growing in quite nicely, and the fish are growing up quite nicely. There's a couple electric blue acaras that I put in there just mostly to grow them out, so I had a few batches of those, so I just kind of sprinkled them from tank to tank. You got this aquarium down here that is not going to stay like this. I put this, there's a Severum in the back corner. I put him in there just because I was going to move some other stuff around, and I dropped him in there just kind of as a holding spot. And then I realized, I'm like, this is a planted tank. Like, he's going to rip up these plants. And that was like a month and a half ago, and he has not done anything to the plants. I'm kind of rethinking what I've heard about Severums. So I wish he would come out so you could see him, because he's very pretty. But this guy's coming out, and this is actually kind of, I bought this fish. I bought a fluvipennis. I'm trying to remember the rest of the name of that. And that's not a fluvipennis. Like, I know I bought a peaceful dwarf cichlid that was only supposed to get like 3 or 4 inches. And my best guess at this point is that this is a yellow acara, which, if that's the case, that's one that I wanted for a long time and you don't find very often. So I actually ordered 4 of them, and only 2 arrived. 2 were DOA. And so I only have 2, and I wish I had more, because that guy is the dominant one, and the one over here behind the rock hiding is definitely the subdominant one. And then there's also a zebra acara in this tank, just one zebra acara. And I have plans for this tank in the future, but I have to move a bunch of fish around. But for that, I have to get my new tank in, which I'll show you where that's going here in a few minutes. But there's a Severum and 2 of these, what I'm thinking are yellow acaras, which are very beautiful, really pretty. I'm going to put a picture of one of those in the thumbnail because they're just absolutely gorgeous. But this is a blackwater aquarium, and I'd like to keep it that way, and so I've got some plans. I just need to move some fish around to give them a new home. But the discus are doing okay. There's definitely one little dwarf right here who's just not growing. I'm gonna buy some new discus here soon. I've got some plans for that. These wild caught, I think it's river moman angels. These are wild caught. These things have definitely kind of awakened something in me, as far as they're just so beautiful. I don't think that's going to come through well enough on camera. Just the subtle reds and subtle colorations. Such a gorgeous fish. And I really would just love some more naturally colored angels, which I'll show you that here soon. This tank that I set up recently, doing great. It's really growing in, and moss is growing in nicely. The fish are just absolutely gorgeous. These lemon tetras, pygmy quarries, and coolie loaches are all over the place. Yeah, so that's going pretty well, but I'm just going to be making some changes here soon. I'm going to move the fish out of that 180 that I'm having the disease in, which I'm kind of hoping I can get that under control before I make any changes. and switch them with these fish, which are a lot of big cichlids that are just growing up more and they need some more space. This is just too big of a tank, too small of a tank for them, so I think they need that extra space that they have. And I might make some swaps with my peacocks too, and the Tanganyikans. I haven't quite yet decided on that. So this, my wabi-sabi aquarium, as I call it, is doing nice. These fish are growing out great. These waru are just looking spectacular. This is one that I haven't shown you guys. This is Cichlid bacordi. I butchered that. Very beautiful fish when it's grown. Not going to be in this tank. He's just kind of hanging out here for now. But all my geos and cupid cichlids and Satanopercas are looking pretty good in here. So this is not the and the festivums. I don't know if I ever showed you guys those two, but this is going to be a spectacular setup when I get these fish grown out. But I'll probably move some of them around because this space right here, I'm getting a 150 gallon acrylic aquarium and probably another 4-foot aquarium to go on the bottom. And these that 10 gallons going to go away. I'll probably scrap the all Cyprichromis tank, which is what I was kind of hoping to do right here. And I'll do probably these rainbows on the bottoms. These are my rainbow fish that I got as eggs from Gary Lang. They are Melanotania callimysu, Melanotania species callimysu. Not named species yet, but they are growing out and starting to get some awesome colors. And so I'll probably put them on the bottom in the 4-foot aquarium. Like I said, just excuse the algae. So, couple new plants. This little Hygrophila right here, and this, I actually don't remember what this pink plant is, but I got 2 of them. Well, actually I got 1 of them and I split it into 2. I had a lily right here in the center. This little CPD tank is kind of got some algae going on. I need to do a little more aggressive water changes. Added another, I can't remember. I'm sorry, I'm forgetting the names of the plants right now. Another red plant there in the back, so hoping to kind of regrow that out a little bit more. Little licorice gouramis. Such a fun little dwarf tank. But yeah, so this is just kind of what I do every day. I kind of come down here and do these little walkthroughs and kind of admire the aquariums and watch the growth of the fish and see how they're doing every day, monitor the ones that are sick, and kind of working on dealing with that. But it's just kind of a constant reminder to me that life is about the way we react to things that go wrong. It's so easy for us to judge each other based off of how others react, and it's easy to watch a YouTube video and judge someone else for dealing with sick fish, but sometimes we just deal with crap in our lives. Things just don't go the way we expect. And at the same time, I'm kind of grateful for that. I'm grateful for the ways that we're challenged. I'm grateful for the opportunities that we have. I'm thinking about some of the people that I've lost in my life recently, and that I was kind of sad about losing them. But reflecting on their lives and people that I know that died rushing to serve someone else, to help somebody, and it makes me realize that it's not up to me to decide what life throws at me. It's just up to me to decide how I'm going to react to it. Am I going to be the person that decides to stand on my values and do the heroic thing and be a good person even when it's hard, or am I going to be the person that joins the crowds of naysayers and people that don't uplift people and support people, but just criticize people into the ground? And it just I don't know what that has to do with fish keeping, but and it's kind of not a well-formed thought, but this is hard. Stuff's hard, and it's hard to deal with all of this. And I also believe a lot in community. I think that when we come together, then we're strong. And I really love the fish keeping community. I was listening to some other videos lately about you know, some trolls and on channels, and you know, I've seen a lot of YouTube videos, and there's a lot of trolls out there, but honestly, I haven't experienced very many. So we have a pretty awesome community. I think oftentimes we're kind of hard on ourselves, thinking that we're harder on each other than we actually are, but I don't know if that's true. I think we all deserve a good pat on the back, because I just noticed that it's a good community. People come together and people are helpful, and I you know, pretty much expect that from this video too. I know that that's how people are going to react, even if they don't watch the whole video. I know this is a long video, and I really appreciate those of you that have made it 15 minutes into this video. I probably would not have made it 15 minutes into this video if I wasn't making the video. So I really appreciate those of you who stick around and watch the videos, and I'm still here, and I'm still going to try to continue to come up with cool stuff to show you guys, even if I'm struggling with stuff. And I will do my best to make it as educational and entertaining and just helpful as possible, something that gives you ideas, and maybe even just helps you feel good about your journey. If it's not going the way that you want it to right now, at least you know that happens, and there are other people out there that it happens to. And I think that the more we all go through things together, the more empathy we have, and we feel things that others feel, and then we're able to help each other out, because we know how the other person feels, because we've been there, we've been through things. So that's one of the beautiful things about community, is that empathy that comes with it. So I appreciate you for being here, and for watching this video, and for taking kind of a little tour of the fish room with me, and a journey through my kind of mental health right now. So I will be making more videos here soon, and thanks a lot for watching this one, and I'll see you in the next one. Wishlist out.